Okay, let's talk LSU Tigers here a little bit. Obviously, spring ball is in full swing. We're getting into some scrimmages, some live action. We're starting to see how good this LSU football team is looking. Of course, all eyes are into 2023, hoping to build off Coach Kelly's first season with this program. He did a heck of a job, and we've got a report out at LSU that shows that this program is definitely heading on the right track, and they've got the pieces in place to potentially be even better than they were last season.
Yeah, Nick, when we talk about LSU, we're talking about spring training, we're talking about spring ball, we're talking about the quarterback battles, we're talking about the receiver battles, but I want to circle on back to the quarterback battles and specifically the quarterback position and ask the fans in the comments below today. I know there's an easy answer here, so I don't want to hear that one. Do not give us that one, but we want to know who is your favorite quarterback in LSU history? Who is the best LSU quarterback to don the purple and gold that isn't have the initials JB? Let us know in the comments below. But Nick, nonetheless, what is the latest on the LSU player development?
Yeah, so talking about the quarterback position, which all eyes are on, right? Modern college football, you're as good as your quarterback is. You can recruit and transferring guys at every other position, but if you're not good at quarterback, you're just not going to be very good. LSU does not have the problem being bad at quarterback. They've got one good guy, of course, in Jane Daniels, and they might have two. The latest reports about out of the latest LSU scrimmage shows that both of their quarterbacks are playing at a high level. We've got a report from LSU Country Mize. If you want to go ahead and throw that on the screen, I'll read from the report. Talking first about Jaden Daniels. Daniels looked calm under center for the Tigers. As he enters his second season with the program, there's a different demeanor with the signal caller, and it was on full display on Saturday. Daniels completed 10 of his 11 passes in the spring game for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's pretty efficient. That's good numbers, obviously. As for Garrett Nussmeier, he got his fair share of reps with the first team offense and made the most of his chances. Despite only throwing 8 total passes, he put on display his cannon of an arm in several throws, ending the day with 5 completions for 139 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Nussmeier held his own, as expected. All right, Mike. So obviously Nussmeier and Daniels having good spring games is a good sign, right? You want to be really good at the quarterback position. That battle continues. It'll be really interesting how it shakes out. I think Daniels is the clear number one. But I want to take a step back and look at the rest of the SEC, specifically the SEC West. And this is where I think LSU is primed to have a huge year. If you look at their top flight competition, there's a lot of concern about the quarterback position. Alabama's quarterbacks had a terrible spring game. Nick Saban has come out and said they may look at the transfer portal. Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin has been very public saying he doesn't know who his QB1 is going to be. We don't know the situation in Mississippi State. Texas A&M, Jimbo Fisher, they got a young guy, new offensive coordinator. Who knows how that's going to shake out? Right now, LSU is the only team, as far as I can see, in the SEC West that has a stable quality signal caller. And not just one, it seems they've got 2 guys, and that puts them in the prime position, in my opinion, to go out and win the SEC West yet again and build off of last season, and this time potentially take down the SEC East champion. Most likely Georgia again, but we'll have to wait and see. And then, of course, go on to the college football playoff from there. So long story short, Miles, when I look at their competition, there is no one better than the LSU Tigers at the most important position, and that is the quarterback position right now, and that puts them in a great spot. Miles, give me your thoughts on the LSU Tigers, their quarterbacks, and just everything with the program right now.
Yeah, Nick, if you take a look at LSU and, like you say, the SEC West, it seems like LSU, Alabama, and everyone else. Obviously, Alabama has the pedigree. They have, a lot of other great positions. But so does LSU. LSU has a fine pedigree. Nick Saban's even won championships at LSU as just so
Yeah.
they know him. They've got that one figured out. LSU's always been a contender in this conference, and I just think that LSU has, like you said, that little bit of an edge where they know they have a solid quarterback. Jaden Daniels can get the job done. We don't necessarily know 100% what Garrett Nussmeier could be. He could be even better than Jaden Daniels. But it's good to see they're both producing, and they're both producing at pretty similar levels, which is good. That's because that's a high level. So I think that's a really good thing for LSU, for the fans. You got to be excited because you're coming into an off season where you just need to get a little bit better to get over the hump. You were right there for most of the season. I think Kelly did a great job last season in his first year as head coach. That little bit of a rough very first game, but from right there, they hit the ground running and come back in. I think they're going to keep that going into this coming season. And I think LSU will be 10 times better this year than they were last year. And I think if Alabama doesn't get the quarterback position figured out, LSU is a shoo-in to win this SEC West division.
Oh, 100%. And I just go back to this, when you look at when Coach Kelly came to LSU, there was a lot of concern as what he would do with this program, right? Because obviously at Notre Dame, he did a good job. But I mean, it's Notre Dame. They're an independent. It's a whole different dynamic that they're going through. Coach Kelly has come here, and to his credit, really stabilize this organization. Because even though Joe Burrow had that fantastic season with the Tigers, this is an LSU program that's been up and down for a lot of years. You go back to the last years of the Les Miles era. They've always had the talent, but they've always seemed to underperform. And a lot of LSU fans will come out and say, well, that's because we stunk at the quarterback position. And I agree with you 100%. Joe Burrow obviously fixed that. We saw the results what happened. They won the national title and just ran through everybody that season. I don't think Jaden Daniels, I don't think Nussmeier are at the same level as Burrow. We'll wait and see how that shakes out. But again, it's been this way, I feel like, for the last 15 years. If LSU is good at quarterback, they're a national title contender. And right now it looks like they are really good at quarterback. And with that in mind, they should terrify the rest of the teams in the SEC and frankly, all of college football. Because as the history will tell us, LSU gets a good quarterback, they win national titles, and they could be heading down that same path yet again.